Welcome, people. We welcome you to the first episode of the Braveheart Show brought to you with the team of the Bravehearts. We are very honored to present to you our first ever guest, Colonel Chandrashekhar Gokhale. He served his lifetime in Indian Army and has a great story to tell us. We have a lot to learn and we hope you do too. Welcome, sir. We'd like you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay. I'm Colonel Gokhale. I joined the army, if you want to say, on 16 December 67. That's the date of my commission, and I retired on 30th of November 2000. After which, I had 4 years of what we know as re-employment, you may say as an extension of service, which I closed down. Finally, I hung up my boots on 30th of November 2004. Life in the army was excellent. Given half a chance, I would like to join again.
That's amazing, sir. That's a great introduction. And moving towards interview, first we'll like to know about your childhood. What was it like, sir?
Okay. It's like this. I was born in Pune. In fact, people keep asking me, where are you from? And the truth is, I'm from Bharat. Now the question comes, how come? You see, I was born in Pune. First 4 years, I was in Pune. Then after that, my father, he was posted to Delhi. I couldn't go there. He put me, because before that, he had done his course in DSSC Wellington, where he came to know about Lawrence School, Lovedale, which was a boarding school. So he put me in that school, where I completed full 11 years. After which, in fact, in my 11th class only, the first chance came for the written test for the NDA. I knew really nothing about it, but we sat for the exam. Expectedly, I flunked. Okay, no problems. Next time, I was more, you could say, educated, and I studied well. Luckily, I got. There was a 6 months gap for me before joining any college also. So during this period, Dad sent me to DAV College, Chandigarh to do pre-engineering. Okay. I carried on with the pre-engineering till roughly, I think it was December, when surprisingly, he sent me my call-up letter for the NDA. My principal there in DAV College, Chandigarh was one Mr. Tilakraj, a very nice person. Proudly, I showed him my letter and said, sir, I am going now. And as it would, any principal, beta, you've got a bright future, you'll become an engineer, this, that, and that. Who was interested in that? Getting a chance to go into an NDA was something very big. I said, thank you very much, sir. I'm quite happy with going to NDA. Okay. Best of luck. Do as you wish. Within a flash, I got my clearance done. And in the evening around 8 o'clock, I took the bus from Chandigarh to Jalandhar. I reached Jalandhar around 8:30 at night and went home. Then, of course, from there on, I think it was 28th of December 63, when I moved to Pune. Stayed 2-3 days with my grandparents. And it was, I think, on Saturday, 2nd of January 64, where I reported to NDA. In fact, I reported to Kanti railway station, where all of us, there are a hell of a lot, about 40-50 of us, put in a truck and sent to NDA. And that time NDA is not like what you see it here, or what is today's NDA. It was completely different. The roads were very, very narrow. We came through, of course, the university side only. The road was barely 10 feet wide. And it was complete jungle after university. There was nothing. And Chandni Chowk was no Chandni Chowk. Just 2 roads, that's all. One going to Paul, and the road going left to Kothur was not there. It was not in existence. And then we went to NDA. Then, of course, came our normal training, get to know everything about NDA. In fact, a very interesting thing was that my name there was written as C.S. Gokhale. You said Chandrasekhar, as you said, but it's actually one word. My father's name is Mahadev, which was not given. My father also never gave his name in any of my records. Throughout my life, I was known as only Chandrashekhar Gokhale. and see Gokhale. But some bright person in India, he divided the thing as wrote Chandra and Shiv. So when I went to Quartermaster Fort to collect my uniform, I was given a public. It took me some time to convince that chap I am not a Sardar. And see my surname, at least it is Gokhale, I am from Maharashtra. Anyway, a little bit of discussion and better sense prevailed, I will say, and then I was given a beret. But that was my starting, I would say. It was humorous, but it's okay. And then, of course, 3 years in India, it was pure and simple ragda. You enjoyed it. In fact, all my students always tell you, if you go there, forget it. Everyone has come down through that factory. You will also come. Enjoy it. Nothing will happen. Yeah.
Sir, as you mentioned that your father was posted.
Yeah.
So can you tell us more about him?
You see, my father was a doctor. Initially, he got his commission in, I think, 1944. So,
For independence.
much, yeah. And his first posting was somewhere in Kohat, the place that's in Pakistan actually, or maybe Afghanistan or Western Pakistan somewhere. So, he had gone there. Then, of course, normal his posting them there because he came to Delhi. From Delhi, he came to, did his staff college course in Vedant. For that, there's a different story, but that we leave that out. From there, wherever he got posted, well, as far as it was Delhi or some peace station, we followed him. But I was put in a boarding school. So for him, that problem did not occur. Where do I send me? I was always in school and they kept moving everywhere. I've got a younger brother and sister, both are no more now.
And being this environment of your family, or in general your environment around yourself growing up, even though you were in a boarding school, this might have influenced you a lot. To what extent did this influence you, and what were your stories or some memories that...
Okay. As far as you see, Lawrence Loveday, one could consider quite, to a large extent, it was very disciplined. Right? We had drill, we had PT, in the evening we had game. Something like in a unit, Early morning you had PT or drill. After breakfast, then you had your classes till 1:30. In the afternoon, you may have some extra class, or you may have some some music session or any of your other extracurricular activities. Then the evening at around 4:35 we had games, and at night you had a study period. After study period you have dinner, and after that lights out from 10 o'clock. So to a large extent it was quite disciplined.
And this is somewhat...
And you carried on like that. So for me there was nothing really, there was no exceptional change. Of course, the beauty of it is when I joined NDA, people used to ask, which school do you disgrace? So I didn't know. I said, I don't disgrace any school, but I am quite proudly from Lawrence Loveday. Because from our school, very few people come to NDA. That's it. There are people who have joined, even senior to me. The Jai Chakor was, I think, 2 courses senior to me. But that's okay. In school, in NDA also, the life carried on like that. Only thing is, it was surprising because people from RMC came, and the first thing, Acha, you're from RMC, start front rowing. It was very humorous at that time, but I just wonder what it's all about. But later on, you came to know, because when I went to IMA, you're from India, start front rowing. It is because they know that you are from such a organization that you are quite capable and you are quite fit for such things. And basically it was to bring everyone down to Mother Earth onto the same side. Right? And it teaches you one for all for one. You don't rat on anyone. Anything happens, it's okay. Doesn't matter. Punishment for everyone. Got it? So, we enjoyed us. And NBA training, everyone goes through it. As far as you don't do anything naughty. Right? Everything is okay. First term, we all know. You don't ride the cycle rides you. It's okay. Part of life. Nothing.
Some glimpse of your NDA training.
It is more of other things than one could consider extracurricular. Like there was, in our term, our commandant was one Major General Ranbir Bakshi, another gun. And by chance he knew my father because they lied. My father was commanding M.H. Devlagi and all at that time. So I knew my father. So his daughter, nice looking girl, but that was the problem. You see what used to happen is, like now you have say drill PTWD. Now you're going to the drill square, which today you call as Khetarpal. We used to call it as a drill square. You're going to the drill square, and this girl is going in the exact opposite direction, right? To the equitation lines. Come on. At 17, 18, you're not going to look in front. It is impossible. You not only do a daine dekh, you do a piche dekh if possible. And what happens in front of you, you can easily imagine. Right? There was a big, I'll say, not an accident, a jumble up of all the cycles. You know, somehow manage to untangle yourself and go to drill. And hope like hell that you are not late. Because if you are late, the situation is different. Get it, jaldi karo. Late क्यों हो रहा वगैरह. साहब क्या करें. सुनीता बख्शी जा रही थी. तो क्या हुआ? सामने नहीं देख सकते. साहब 17 साल में आप कोशिश करो सामने देखने का. नहीं हो सकता साहब. बहुत कोशिश किया. वो दाहिने देख ऑटोमेटिक हो ही जाता है. दाहिने कैसा पीछे देख हो जाता है. Anyway, जल्दी करो. And then of course you had your drill and all that sort of thing. It is one of those reminiscences. Or one more very interesting case which I had. You may have heard of a sailing boat known as Trishna. One of my postmates, K.S. Rao, he's an engineer, right? He sailed that boat around India. The first one, right? Much before the 6 girls naval officers went down, much before. Because we got commissioned 67, so you can say around 70 or so, whatever it is, he went down. Now, excellent swimmer, excellent diver, etc., etc. So we had this 10-meter board jump, or you could say step off, into the swimming pool. He's in front of me. Our PT instructor, Major Darshan Singh, no one can forget him. At least I can't, I put that. Next cadet, jump. Now, in front of me, when KS, he did a beautiful swallow dive. You could imagine, absolute legs straight and, pointed and all that, and he comes down into the water, barely a plop, and comes out of the water, shakes his head, and what does Darshan Singh say? Fail. Now, you're on 10 meters. Oh, why is this chair fail? Who told you to dive? You are supposed to step off. Back again. Anyway, for me, lesson learned, don't take chances. I just stepped off and went down. It took barely a second. Ye cadet pass. So, this is the time. Then there was one PT instructor who asked whether there were 6 people in that row or there were 2. चारों fail. साहब 2 ही थे. Don't argue. चारों fail. You don't argue. It's very funny. I mean, these are funny things which happen, but it's okay. Nice life. I enjoyed myself. I'll be very fair. Yeah.
Moving from NDA to IMN.
Yeah.
So, how was the change?
First thing I told you, you're from India, start front rolling. That is the first thing. Anyway, that was part of the game. Then we joined, you see, we had a course starting in January. Now, January, Dehradun temperature, goes down to 0. The worst thing that could happen to us, which we have faced also, stand at Savdhan and do nothing. Possibly it is in the Nala also, the Nala flowing by. Stand in that or stand outside only. That's all. It is in Kacha. That's all, nothing more. Maja aata. Of course, after, you get used to knowing how to move your fingers and all without getting caught. That's how it is. Yeah. Then the training goes on. That's it. As far as you don't get yourself injured and all, everything is okay.
So, after IMN, once you got commissioned, so how was the family? How were their expressions? How were they excited? How were you excited?
You see, a very funny thing happened immediately after my commission. By the way, when I was commissioned, who put on the tabs for me? My parents were not there. One was the adjutant's wife, and one was another lady. So that was that. Then what happened is, there was one officer from Nasik, I'm forgetting his name. So he told me, my brother's in Nasik. Would you take some rice for him? Okay. At Dehradun station, I bought 30 kgs of rice and 5 kg bags, 5 kg bags. Nice, the basmati rice. That was the only time my father came and received me at the railway station. He was the OC MS Devlali. So he came and received me there, right? And this box of mine, it got caught at the station. Why? Because इतना भारी क्या है? So he asked me, 20 kilo चावल है. Anyway, so that chef said, yeah, you're supposed to throw you something. Anyway, it was managed. One could say I went through it without any problem. Right? Now, 30 kilos of rice, you can just imagine Mama, right? What nonsense. Who's going to send 25 kilos there? Sorry. 25 kilos here, 5 kilos. We called that officer, of course, that person, and gave him the 5 kilos of rice. So I told you regarding the rice. I mean, that was the first inch after my commission. Then, of course, my wife was in Devlali, only I was in Devlali. There, very funny thing happened again in the course. They said, yeah, you're a local, you can stay at home. I said, no, I'm going to stay in the mess. What, you're going to stay in the mess? I said, yes, I don't want to stay at home. It's a surprising thing. People would like to stay at home. I was the opposite side. I would like to stay on my own in the mess. So I stayed throughout in the mess. No problems.
So, and any like more personal stories or some glimpse about?
I mean, so you're a young officer. In fact, in the first 2 months, no one got paid because everything is from home. My first salary came after 2 months. It was a very large amount, 1,500 rupees. Or it was 2.5 months pay, whatever it is. Then, of course, with that, I went to Bombay, bought my grandmother, my great-grandmother, 2 saris. Now all those things. My dad, I got a suit. My mother, I got another sari. No, why was it? It was not required. That's the standard. That's okay. Of course, as would naturally be there, my grandmother and my great-grandmother started crying. Kichan sari ka and all that sort of thing. It's okay. Of course, people were very proud. He has started earning. Man. That's the thing. And so that was that. Then after that, of course, I got posted to my first unit, 195. Now, 195, if anyone asks me where it is in actually Himachal. But the name you think it is in some foreign country. It was Al Hilal. But it is actually near Palanpur. There, of course, normal unit life. You get used to the things. Huh? That's all. The first day, normal ragging on the unit, little bit of bullshit, little bit of going and checking the guard. In fact, that night, I am a teetotaler. But what happened is, first night in the mess, you are forced to do it. I didn't fight it. Because if you fight it, it creates a problem. I had 2 drinks, I was knocked out. Obviously, if I am knocked out, you're misbehaving in the mess, go and check the guard and all that stuff. I went to the guard, quarter guard. So, Pechan ke liye aage, but I said, yes, that time we were second lieutenant. So I said, Lieutenant Gokhale. So, Pechante nahi sab. And he phoned up the adjutant. Now, adjutant knew who I was. Right? Because they knew that I was coming. So he said, ठीक है, साहब को सोने दे उधर अंदर कर देना सो गए. So I was put not in the lockup, but there was a small bench. I was put on the bench and I went off to sleep. Actually, possibly people thought, I would get buried or something. कुछ नहीं हुआ है. So NDA से था, क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं. He phoned up the adjutant. One could hear all this. These things you remember. साहब तो सो गए. अच्छा कोई बात नहीं, इनके ऊपर ब्लैंकेट डाल दो. Then next morning at around 5:30, साहब उठो. साहब ने एडजुटेंट साहब ने बोला वापस कमरे जा सकते हैं. अरे ठीक है, किसी को भेज दो मेरे साथ, because I don't know where it is. Everything was happening at night. Na? Went to the room. First thing is there. CO's interview at 8:30. So quickly had a bath, shave, made myself okay, presentable in uniform, and went to the adjutant. Now, see, these things with a bit of ragging is there, which is naturally accepted. The chap who received me at the railway station, good friend of mine, but he had taken my iPad and he refused to return it. He gave it to the adjutant. Adjutant asked me at that time, before going to the CO, adjutant going to talk to me. Where's your iPad? I said, sir, this chap had taken it. Now he's in front, na? He can't say no also. हाँ साहब आपने बोला था आपको देने का तो मैंने लिख के आपके पास है. So it became a bit of a humorous thing because the adjutant Bajwa was trying to be very serious, but he couldn't. And looking at me, Kadi Pehlwan, it was a very funny situation. Anyway, he said, CO's called you, you better go there. So nothing much in that. Of course, then, the normal unit life. And for me, as you could call it good luck or bad luck, within 6 months, I was holding 3 posts. Battery commander because there is no one, right? The canteen officer and sports officer. Like anyone else, in the sports time, the 2IC would have, what is your canteen profit? When I go to the canteen, you would ask how many people are on leave in your sub-unit. For me, just try and imagine, we are just barely 6 months in the unit. I don't damn nerve actually. But take it. You get used to it, It makes you strong. Today I laugh about it. That time it was a bit difficult, but it's okay. And so these things, like Asio, he was a bit of a strict person. So no one wanted to go. And Sio in that time was a god. Very frankly. So one fine day message comes. No one is calling on us and all that sort of thing. All officers should call on, married people. So now the chap Tyagi and me were detailed. We will call on CO. Okay. 7 o'clock, we went there. And we had decided within us कि भाई तू कम से कम 6 coke पिएगा and Tyagi said I will polish out at least 6 whiskeys. 6 मतलब large. CO's wife refused to come out. I mean that was her style. Okay? And then you're carrying on like this, na? By the time it is 8:30. Sir, one more drink and all that sort of thing. No problem. Sir, I don't drink, I'll have a coke. Yeah, I think the 6th or 7th coke was gone. Anyway, finally said, now, you see, remember it's CO's the same. He can't say go back to the West. I said, you might as well have a bite. So we looked at each other, acha, theek hai. Pre-planned. We had gone there, aata khatam karne ka, but it was not that bad. But we had, because luckily CO has got a cook and all, na? So there was not a problem. 4-5 rotiya khali. That time also as a youngster, you were eternally hungry. You know that. So that was the case. The khana wana khaya, came back at around, I think it was 11 at night, 11:30. And CO used to sleep at 9:30. Next day morning, CO ke samne, you all are misbehaving. But see, you must understand, it was, one could call it humor in uniform, but it's okay, part of it. Then there was this situation, I'm talking just second lieutenant. Then in 4 days, there was what is known as a Khad race. 20 kilometers of run over hill and dale. It is more hill and less dale. Right? You climb up a hill, go down, cross a nala, climb up, go down like this. You are completing how much? As I said, roughly 20 kilometers. Now, in our unit, there was a competition. And 3 of us officers came 1, 2, 3. And then Jawans and JSO. The actual requirement was 1 officer, 1 JSO and 28 Jawans. We sent 3 officers, 1 JSO and 26 Jawans. Total the humorous part of it was, the BM was phoning CO. He said, why are you sending 3 officers? What I want to send. No, but there is requirement only 1. No, but I am sending 3. Now, one could easily imagine that between the BM, because that time there was only a BM brigade and CO. The BM is like an adjutant of the brigade. So, this gentleman thought that, yeah, it's no use arguing with this man. Okay, sir, do what you want. So, 3 of us with 1 JSO and 26 moved from Alilal to Yol. Yol camp, you must have heard of it, right? It is actually on a hill, complete. So, we stayed there with 40 medium. We were attached to 40 medium, and by chance, 40 medium was in Jhansi when I took over the unit in Jhansi. My unit, the 306 medium. And that time it was commanded by one of my course-mates only, Lakhvinder Singh. Lakhvinder Singh, you must have heard of his name in Kargil war. He is the one who had decided to have direct firing onto the enemy with Bofors. And the first created a major chaos with the enemy.
This is so wonderful. I can't stop imagining every picture that you are telling me.
Yeah.
And can you tell us, as your promotions started happening or everything, how was, you told us about getting used to the unit. How was it like getting used to the next rank, commanding more?
Unit, next rank was nothing, because when I got my rank, my battery, we were moved specifically to two places. It was just by chance. See, from around 69, 195 went to Punch. We were in Punch for some time. By early 70, first, within 15 days of reaching Punch, I was put on a picket known as Doda. Doda picket was the highest point in 25 days. Stayed there for some time and all that, came back. Then my unit, my cable battery, it was shifted to Bimber Gully. We had to take over from 57. That's 57 Mountain. Now 57 Mountain had 3.7. We had 75-24. Again, there was a technical glitch in that we had to sort out with the brigade. 57 Mountain, the guns, 3.7, they could fire around up to about 1,000 yards. My minimum range was 3,000 something. So that gap had to be covered now by the infantry. They were told that there was a big hangama. But anyway, that was a technical failure. From Bimber Gully, we were moved to Jangat. That is in Naushera sector. We went there. We stayed there for some time. And that is where I got my rank as a captain. Direct. From second lieutenant, I will make captain. Anyway, that's there. Then came back. Then in 71, it was I think it was 18 October 71. We were on the ranges doing field firing in Rajouri. The CO calls me. He tells me, Gokhale, you know where is place? Madari. I said, yes, sir. I mean, that is the place which is our area only. Yes. Cease firing from here, take your guns and deploy there. Mules of 55 light will come to you at 5:30 in the evening. Take the mules and go up there. Now we have planned for, of course, mule pack and all that. At that time, what happened? Life was different. Like when any vehicle had to move, you had something known as a TCP. It was a slip of paper which gives you permission to move from place A to B. Now I had no slip of paper, and that was the only permission I had was the CO's order to go and deploy. And for me, deployment orders was like a red light. Nothing is going to stop me after that. So called my JCO, quickly closed down got the guns, ceased firing. They asked me, क्या बात है? I said, yeah, deployment करना है, बस इतना ही मालूम है. And well, this is 18th of October 71. That time the war was supposed to be started. Moved the guns, came to the TCP. Now I am leading in a jeep. Went to the TCP. I said, गेट खोलो, मैंने जाना है डिप्लॉयमेंट के लिए. तो साहब ऐसे कैसे जा सकते हैं? TCP नहीं है, ये है. देख, ये मेरा नाम है, ये मेरा यूनिट है, ये मेरी गाड़ी का टैग नंबर है, ये है. Do what you want. This is my deployment order. I am going. If you do not open the gate, I'll break the gate. Sir, I said, you call anyone, I can carry that. I don't have time. I have to move up there by 5:30. I have to be in Punch because the mules are coming there. Better sense prevailed. He opened the gate. I said, now do me a favor. Others said, this is the beginning of Rajouri. At the other end of Rajouri, there's another TCP. Then in Bimbergali, there's another TCP. In Punch, before the thing, there's another TCP. I said, tell everyone I'm coming. Because I'm not going to wait. Better sense prevailed. All the gates were opened. हाँ साहब, message आया है, you can go. So, whole of my battery, we moved to this place. Punch, back to Punch, unloaded, mounted on the pack mules. That's from 55 light. And then moved immediately to Badade. I think it was 2.5 hours. But by the time we reached, it was dark night. And here, when I asked my CO, you see, there are certain technical details which we require to know while you deploy. Taken? So when I asked him, sir, what about these details? Shut up, don't talk bloody nonsense. Your time is up, go. In other words, do what is best. This is how you learn. It is the hard way, but there's no. Now the only thing I knew is Pakistan. You see, at that time, by which time I had already done the recce of all these places for OP. So I knew that. I knew that we have to fire roughly at 270 degrees west, Pakistan. So I think I deployed the guns because at 270 is a big hill. So in between on the right, so I made it roughly 280 or so and deployed the gun at night. Now that is just a rough deployment. Of that, now you start digging the gun pits. All that work had to be done. There was no stop. None of us slept for nearly 3 nights. It was bad. And by the time the next morning, see, now we've deployed the guns, however best we could, command post, reserve command post and all that. And then from below, the defense stores started coming. What are defense stores? Bullies, CGI sheets, your nails, all those things, girders, all that, because you are supposed to build bunkers. Remember, we are all making things ready for war. So everything was being done one after the other. Line was being laid. Line means your telephone line. My operators went with the line, brought a cable, put it there, sir. Phone is, you're through with the regimental exchange. At night, this thing was done. I think we were through by about 3 in the morning. So I didn't require to use a radio set. I was through with a telephone. So this thing had to be done. And by the way, you'll be surprised, my posting to 166 had already come. Now, 166 is a pure Sikh regiment. I am working in a pure Tambi regiment. When I went to 166, for me, it was a psychological trauma. It was humorous. And actually, here, the method of working with Tambis is different. And with Sardars, koi gal nahi sahab ji, ho jao. This is exactly what they used to say. You give any order, it will be done. Each has got his own, specialities, one could say. So that's how it was. So then I reached Faridkot from Punj on, I think it was 1st of November. Yeah, 28th I left. 30th or 1st of November, I was in Fasilka. Then war started. I was with OP officer. Then war started. Then war, I got injured, went to the hospital, came back. All those things. And the thing went, there was another humorous part that it went to, my last address was the Pune address where my grandparents stayed. My mother is in Sagar. My dad is in the eastern sector. And I am supposed to have been injured in war. But within 24 hours, I got myself discharged. War is going on, there's nothing so drastic. You're injured, okay, but no bones are broken, muscle injury, patti bandi, khadam ho gayi baat. So what does the doctor tell me? Sir, you're going against medical advice. I said, it's okay, my father is also a doctor. I know exactly what I'm doing. I've got no bones broken and all that. It's okay, I'll carry on. So I came back to the unit. My whole OP party was written off, got a new OP party and went back. And did the same thing. I went into 4 attacks, one after the other. From 3rd December it started. 4th, I went to attack. 5th, I got injured, came back. 6th, 7th, I think, hospital and all that. Then again, 2 attacks. So I had 4 attacks. Nothing. Perfectly okay. I can say that due to me, 2 Pakistani tanks are out and total of, I think, I shouldn't say, many Pakistani soldiers have seen their 70 Hurs, possibly. Whether they are there or not, I don't know. So you want to know about the one issue? Okay, I'll tell you. What had happened immediately after the war? So you see, in war or otherwise, there is something known as stand to and stand down. In stand to, just before daylight or just in the evening, dusk, right? Say, in December, it comes to a roughly 5:30, say, it starts becoming dark till 6, or you say 6 o'clock, it becomes dark. You are supposed to look outside and get used to the darkness. So you know where there's a tree, now you know you find a silhouette. It's dark. Things like that. Now what these Pakistanis used to do is, at stand to time, they are ready, we are ready. Yeah, we finally came under the British Army once upon a time. 1 or 2 round fire karte the. That's nothing more. And suddenly one chap will come with a white jhanda, right? Saab, fire mat karo, galti se recruit ne fire kiya. First time happened, possible. Second time happened in the evening, okay, give it to them, right? Doubt. As they say, benefit of doubt. Next morning, again it happened. Now that's a bit too much of a coincidence. So I told my company commander, I said, sir, I think you better go and tell your counterpart. I mean, we have also got recruits, but they don't fire like this. Can't be done. I'll not go. My CEO is there. He'll hit me on the mat, absolutely. You go. I said, Panga was bad. I'm telling you very frankly, Panga was bad. I'm not very sure. So that's a Samalunga, I don't know. I said, okay. So I went. Now, between them and me, Pakistan, me, there's just one single strand of barbed wire. Single. That's all. Nothing to hide and all that. Rank man, sir. There is Saab ko bula. They talk Punjabi. We know Punjabi. Saab is not there. But Pakistani officers never were there on the line. They were always about half a kilometer behind. Aane ke liye it will take about half an hour or so. Okay. Call them. Call in. I'll wait. We had a cup of tea with the boys. After half an hour, he came. I said, listen, there are a few things I would like to tell you. First, you better stop this firing during stand to and stand by. That's the first. Now, more to it. I said, your training is bad, your fire discipline is bad, right? Your general everything is bad. So he didn't understand. I said, listen, if your people are firing without orders, that means one is your training is bad and your fire discipline is bad. I said, now, when he has not hit anything, that means his aiming is also bad. I said, so what are you doing? I said, first sort out yourself. Now, if you want to see firing, I'll show you this evening. And I'm telling you, I will show you. बोलता है तुझे तो इंदिरा गांधी का हुक्म चाहिए ऐसे मिल जाएगा डोंट वरी वो मेरी जेब में है and in any case what are we arguing for I've told you this evening I will show you firing during stand to time I will show you end of story so let's not argue about it anyway थोड़ा तू मैं हुआ है थोड़ा गाली वाला छुआ that's friendly that's okay I came back to my company and told him मैं पढ़ना ऐसे ऐसे बात हुआ and now इज्जत का सवाल है अरे गिव मी अ सेक्शन तो नहीं मिले 6 बंदे 8 बंदे मिले in the evening around 5:30 all of them I called I told him partner ऐसे ऐसे बात now see this thing in NCR if you're firing to the at 270 degrees where does the sun set in the west so that means if the sun is behind you and you're in front aren't you silhouetted you'll see that man isn't it and you're firing from the east from in reference point like that exactly the same I said एक चुनले में and they had a bad habit of standing on the skyline so 8 बंदे I said याद रख एक बंदा है गिरने चाहिए 1 राउंड का आवाज आएगा याद रख 1 राउंड का आवाज आएगा 8 गन फायर होंगे 8 राइफल फायर होंगे आवाज एक आएगा ऑन माय ऑर्डर लोडेड एम रेडी तो I said 5 4 3 2 1 फायर ठक आवाज 8 आदमी डाउन यहां तक तो ठीक है तो माय पीपल जाएगा आवाज आया ना फायरिंग का तो क्या हुआ क्या नथिंग डोंट वरी साहब वो तो फायर ऐसे उनकी हिम्मत नहीं है फायर करने की डोंट वरी आई हैव सीन व्हाट दे आर लाइक उनको लात मारो ना पुट्ठी पे दे ऑल फिट देन जयराम जी की लाइक दे से आप भगवान दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट दे आर लाइक एनीवे नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग आई सेड दिस इज गोइंग टू हैपन आई टोल्ड हिम आई सेड दिस इज गोइंग टू हैपन डोंट वरी अराउंड 8:30 साहब को बुलाया from their side now, Pakistani side. So this chef says, कौन से साहब? कंपनी कमांडर साहब? नहीं कल जो साहब आए थे ना उनको बुलाओ क्या बात है तो सर कंपनी कमांडर साहब को नहीं कल जो साहब आए थे उनको बुलाओ तो ठीक है I went there. When I went there, this gentleman, right, was tall, 6 feet tall, very smartly turned out yesterday. Today, उसकी तोते उड़े थे, हवा उड़े थे, his face was bad. You could easily make out. So all my reaction was, saw the firing. This is what you call firing. But yeah, I said, I'm not here. 8 of my men are dead. I said, I counted it. I told you last evening only. This is what is firing. I had counted. I know. What do I do? I said, why are you asking me what would I do? What would that's your problem, not mine. Carry on. I said, but what I want to tell you is, if you ask for trouble, you've got. Let's not get wrong notions about, right? After that, I went on leave, got married, came back, and asked, क्या हाल है? उसे साहब, आप चले गए थे, उस दिन से आज तक 2 महीने रोज हमसे पूछते थे वो साहब है क्या, और हम उनको बोलते हाँ है, बुलाए नहीं ठीक है ठीक है ना.
My question is like you have got men under your hand.
Yeah.
So there are all kinds of men. So what was interesting or some interesting story that you faced with these men, handling them?
Handling everyone there is different thing. You handle Kamble very different. You handle six there different. You handle Gurkhas there third issue. Gurkhas until you know Gurkhali you can't do it. It's very funny. You know, like when we were in Punch as this thing, OP officer, I had gone to one unit for an exercise. 1-4 Gurkhas. The adjutant of that was my postmate only. I went there, Bagga bhai, okay, no problem here. I'll send a JCO to you and you brief him for anything you want and it will be done. Yeah, but why do you want to send a JCO here? Any Jawan is good enough. No. You don't know my men. I will send a JCO. He can send. Now, I got a table and chair. I was busy with my map and all that. When that JCO comes, adjutant साहब ने भेजा है, क्या करें? सब ऐसा है. एक अगर हो सके तो चारपाई का बंदोबस्त करें ना, एक बाल्टी, basic arrangements, Adam arrangement, a little bit of hot water, mug and all that, right? Because where you're staying, you require a little bit of comfort. Yes. Now I'm busy doing my thing, and through the corner of my eye, I can see this gentleman walking up and down like this. कोई problem है साहब? नहीं साहब, सब ठीक है. He is not gone. He's still moving up and down. After about 10 minutes, sheepishly he's come back to me and then, "Sir, can you please repeat what you said?" Anyway, so again, I told him the same things. He went back. I sent my man with him. I had a tambina, I said, "Yaar, thoda charpai varpai ka bandobast karwa dena." So then the things were done. My men were also kept properly. And then exercise khatam. So, see, this is how you deal with Gurkhas. You have to be very, very careful. And I was speaking to him in Hindi. He is speaking to me in Gurkhali. Problem. Then, if you say Sardars, there's a different issue. For them, there is no problem. Like once, see, it is all an attitude. Like, I was going once in a vehicle with them, 1 ton. Now, those 1 tons had 6 cylinders. Right? So, गाड़ी झटका दे गई, टाटा टाटा. ओए, अमृतपाल उसका नाम, ऐसे दिख रहा है 1-2 सिलेंडर काम नहीं कर रहे. तो कोई बात नहीं, सब नहीं 4 कर रहे ने, कौन जान गए? What do you do with this man? But he reaches, after that they will sort it out. This is out there. Nothing is important. For them, it's okay, very minor things. Okay, you want another example? I'll tell you it again. We had gone to Hoshiarpur ranges for firing. On the return, when we came back, there is what is called an OK report. That is to say that the complete unit has come back. Everything has been checked and everything is okay. Now we can break off. You'll be surprised, one of my guns had not come.
Whole gun?
Gun का gun. Gun मतलब वो गाड़ी के साथ. 25 pounder it was not. तो मेरे पास आ गया, साहब पसंदा गन नहीं आया. So we waited for half an hour, आ जाऊंगा. नहीं आया. So I sent a report. ठीक है. So okay, break off everyone. When he comes back, tell us. At around 12 or 1 o'clock at night, my JCO comes to me, senior JCO. Saab ji, that's it. See, you're used to talking Punjabi, I hope you know that. Right? Saab, pasanda gun lab gaya. I said, lab gaya? What the hell? Yeah? Where has it got lost? Nahi saab ji, oh, okay, dig pe aaya. Gun dig pe aaya? How? And that story comes out later. First thing is you go, send the recovery and bring it. Rest we'll sort out. So, by about that recovery was sent to the recovery people, gun was recovered, came back. At around 9 o'clock or so, Pajan in front of me. Havaldar. Yeah. So, Pajan finally, his gun came around 8:30 in the morning. And by 9 o'clock, he's in front of me. We are all talking Punjabi. That's की गल है. Gun कितने गया? साहब जी. Now his reaction. साहब जी गलती कितनी है? Punishment दे दो, खत्म कर दो. That's a different issue. I have to answer the CO. So tell me what the thing is all about. Punishment तो मिले, but that's different. साहब जी की दशा. In which problem था? Then he brought a small letter to me. It's all written in Gurmukhi, so it is as good as any other language to me. Anyway, then he told me, basically, that, sir, there was a fight in the unit, and I went there to sort it out. Now, his gun was last in the convo. So what he did is, from the main road, he turned to the left, went to his village, put the gun in action, and gave them a nice threat. And मैंने like that, सदा से मैं इस गन का नंबर 1 हूँ, मैं कमांडर हूँ, अगर तुम लोग कुछ करोगे ये फायर करेगा, ए साडा मेजर है जेड़ा वो दसेगा असी वो ही करांगे, things like that. So you can easily make out the people were really scared. Now, problem solved. We will not trouble your people and all that, please. Now, gun was, cease firing, rehooked, and now brought back. Now, on the return journey, he had to do a right turn to come onto the main road. And now, remember, the driver is driving fast. He had to join the convoy. Basic physics, centrifugal force. So what happened? The gun pulled. Try as they might, it cannot be straightened. By the time they phoned up, unit was informed, it took that much of time. Anyway, finally it clicked. Then we checked the gun, there's no damage, nothing, all okay. CEO had to be informed. So I told the sir, he has to be punished for the call. Next day, he was marched up to CEO. Under normal circumstances, he should have been detained. Doesn't matter. He was quite, he's a sportsman, etc., etc. So, आज उतर जाएगा कल फिर चढ़ेगा. It was like that. That time it was okay. There's no hassle in that. Came to CEO, Mahashama, हाँ भजन सिंह, तुमने ये किया. हाँ साहब जी गलती हो गई साहब जी punishment दे तो हो जाए. He himself is mentally prepared. ये तो किया. Then I said, sir, if you don't mind, I'll tell you. Let him go. Asked him out. I said, this was the actual case. He had done that to sort out his home problem. Problem has been sorted out. The gun, because of the centrifugal, bullet gaya and all that, it has been said. There is no damage to the gun or any equipment. Everything is okay. I think, sir, if you ask me personally, give him a reprimand. That's more than sufficient. If you give him a severe reprimand, it's a red ink entry. That goes throughout his life. Give him a reprimand. That's a black ink entry. 6 months it will be there and then it will be washed out automatically. I think that should meet the requirements. We punished him also and not much of an effect. I think it's a good idea. March him in, marched him. तुमने ये किया, हाँ साहब जी. क्यों किया साहब जी? घर में प्रॉब्लम था this thing and I've sorted it out. गन उलट गया, it has been repaired. कोई लॉस नहीं है साहब. That's all. punishment के लिए हकदार हो, हाँ साहब जी हकदार. ठीक है. I award you reprimand. Now he is looking at me. ये क्या चीज है? Case closed. साहब जी सीओ साहब ने की दसिया. सीओ साहब ने दसिया कि वो ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ बहुत नाराज ने. तो साहब जी फीती नहीं उतरी. ऐसे so I told him, साहब ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ बड़े नाराज ने. साहब जी फीती नहीं उतरनी. ऐसे नहीं. वो साहब जी फिर कुछ नहीं. You can carry on. तो साहब जी आया तो ठीक है. He was very happy. फीती भी नहीं उतरी. Because for them, punishment means फीती उतरनी चाहिए. Something. Anyway, so this is how you deal with them. But what happened is in totality in the unit, my name came up. You see, such a big accident happened, but nothing. He has sorted it out with the CEO. Men were very happy.
Sir, and as you mentioned, you came home and you got married. So, how was that like? Managing the career in defense forces and managing a relationship.
It is more you ask her that, not me. It is okay. I am only duty bound. Truthfully, I'm telling you.
Yes.
She is the home girl. But she managed everything, and I will say 100% for her, for that. Everything. You see, for any Fauji, actually it is the family or the wife who looks after this side of it, the Adam part of it. You say, na, the army marches on its stomach. That is the thing. Because she is there, I could do what I did. Otherwise, it is not possible. I was in Tangdar, my daughter got hand fractured. She went there. My son, he failed in an exam. She managed everything. Whatever it is. But I was, army marches on its stomach. Very important. Yeah.
Any problems that you face, like nowadays generation, they are very much into long distance relationship and that issues. So, in your days you didn't have any
No.
communication.
No. Our communication was everything on phone. Na?
Yes.
Even like when I was in Eastern Sector, I was in Tawan. So it was decided between us. Every Friday at 6:30, I would phone her. Now that was a different communication system. I used to phone her. At 6:30, she would be at the phone, ring, and we would talk for about 5 minutes. The maximum. That's how there. Yeah, at that time there was no phone. I mean, your mobile phones are not there. Never thought about also. Whatever we had, we managed in that. We were quite happy. No problem. Now you're talking of this Tawan. After my command of the unit, I was posted to Tawan 5 days. I was given as I was told one fine day that IAS trainees with 5 women, or lady trainees, we call them what, they were coming there and we were supposed to look after them and give them a feel of army life. And that's actually asking for trouble. They didn't know that. Okay. They came, general briefing to them, what is required. Sir, we would like to stay in a bunker and how the people stay and all that sort of. As you are asking for trouble. No, sir. We must understand what you go through. Okay. Arrange 2 1-tons for them. Okay? And send them to Bumla. So there was a Gurkha battalion there. I phoned them up and said, yeah, इनको सबको इसमें डाल देना, bunkers में डाल देना, and put them and give them authorized 2 blankets each. So give them only 2 blankets and nothing more. खाना वाना खा लिया ना overnight. हमको मालूम है all these bunkers leak. It is a normal thing. Nothing so great about it. Acha, it is raining also, it is snowing also. December ka mahina hai when they were feeling cold. Sir, with only 2 blankets. I said, what you do is, दो इकट्ठे हो जाओ, you will get 4 blankets. So ये क्या बोल रहा है? I said, I am telling you practical thing. You wanted to see how people stay now, I am telling you. After the first night itself, sir, we want to come back. Come back. Now coming back also, the road is not good. Huh? So everyone, sir, how can you stay here in this manner? The bunkers are leaking, all sorts of things. But that is normal here. For us it is normal, nothing great about it. If it is leaking, you put more mud on it, tap it down. If it stops, well and good. If not, next morning you do something else. That's all. This is how your field area is. Then of course, I, told them, because what happened is that this was roughly on 25th of December, Christmas time. They were supposed to return on 26th. 26th of December, early morning, Sela, heavy snow, Sela Pass blocked. There was no tunnel which is there today. There was no tunnel. You had to climb 13,700 feet, cross it by road and then go down. So what do we do? I said, nothing, you stay back. Sir, can't we get a helicopter? I said, you're President of India or what? No one gets a helicopter here. So then we miss our train. I said, you missed your train already. Forget it. They stayed with us for next 4 days. On 2nd of January, they managed to go. I said, partner, this is what it is. Try and remember when you become DCs and all that, when a Jawan comes to you for help, see what he is going through. That is what is important. That is what you are there for actually. You and the IS and all that, this is what you are meant for, to help the people in need. So that's one thing. Yeah.
So, sir, in our Indian history or modern history as we say, 1971 war is written in golden words. So, you are a veteran of that war.
Yeah.
So, how was it like to be in that field working under such tough conditions and even being in the war, winning the war? What were all of your emotions or challenges that you went through as a...
You didn't have the time. Truly, I'm telling you. When the rounds are falling on you now, you're looking at how to save yourself because you don't know when the next round will come. Only one thing you know is, if you can hear the sound of the round, it is not for you. Understood? Because it will go over. Only that which you don't hear, then you are likely to get. That happened with me. Same 71. I was in a communication trench. This was on 3rd of December. We were in a communication trench. And barely 10 feet away, suddenly one round fell. And I was in the trench. Behind me was my company commander. And we were going from one place to another in the trench. And I took out my head just to see the spread of shot. That was a stupid thing to do, but I did it. And from behind, he took his stem and hit me on my head. Luckily, I had a helmet. He hit it hard, and I went like this, thang karke piche, and a splinter went just behind my neck, like this. Saved, but it was stupidity. I can say it today.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
And moving ahead, sir, comparing your days and right now, the technology is growing not only in the civil life but in the defense as well.
Exactly.
So,
So one must be updated for everything.
yes,
Even I appreciate it. Like for us, we used to normally do the map, and there was a system. Now you got all computers, and everything is done with the computer.
yes,
So your rounds, you fire more accurately and faster. Why not? And of course, you try and be at the enemy side and see. They will enjoy themselves with the rounds falling on their heads. It's not pleasant. That's all I can say.
maybe the last thing they'll feel ever.
Yeah, correct. Our equipment today is very, very accurate. Very good. And now you know that we are producing our own guns and ammunition and everything. That's what. That's what. I mean, I'm very proud of our country. Atmanirbhar is too good. Do everything for yourself. And you've been with me for quite some time. My country first, everything else later. And that's what I believe. Okay?
Yes, sir. As you after that, once you knew it was time to hang your uniform.
Yeah.
So, what were your emotions, or what was going in your head? Because at such moments you see your life back and all those days.
Okay. At that time, I'll tell you. I don't know about others. I really didn't want to hang up my uniform. I did. But perforce. That's why when I was in Masilpur, that was my last unit. Then I retired from there, came home, and within 15 days, I was back. I went to Leh on re-employment, what you call as, you can call it an extension of service. I went to Leh. Enjoyed myself there also. People used to wonder. In fact, when my posting order came also, there were many friends of mine, "Yeah, but you're going to field area." I said, yes, so. I mean, I found nothing great about it, nothing surprising about it. I said, the terms and conditions of re-employment was, the first posting was an organizational interest, the second posting will be of your interest, both of 2 years. Fair enough. So, but only thing for me, from Masimpur, which was a non-family station, I came to Leh, which was technically a non-family station. So, I put an application to MS Branch. I said, I am going for so much time. If it would be possible, post me to Bombay in my next posting. Then between us, we had decided, okay, change it to Pune. I got it done. And I was in Pune for nearly 3 years. Actually, 2 years and 9 months. And 1 year and 3 months, I was in Leh, total 4 years. And I enjoyed myself. I brought her also. She had visited all these places. She came to Leh also. She came to Masimpur, and in fact Shillong. I brought her there to see. And why not? See, because that is the thing. As you are asking her, she also knows what conditions I go through.
So after retirement or post-retirement, when you sit at home, there's a complete change in your regime or your life. So
I can't say there's change in my life. I still get about 5:30, and
yes.
right. I go for, in fact, PT nahi to I go for a walk. I go for golf also in the mornings. Then around 10 o'clock, I was a GTO once upon a time, so I trained boys to join to face the SSB for any type of entry. Those things happen.
So you're still in service in a way.
You could call it, I keep myself busy. After commission on, first unit was 195 Mountain. Then I went to 166 Field during the wartime. From there, I got posted to 232 Independent Rocket Battery that had Grad BM21, right? 40 barrel, multi-barrel rocket launcher. From there, I became a GTO for 3 years. Then I got posted back to 195 for about 2 years. From there, I came to a new raising, that is 306 medium. There I stayed for nearly 2 years. Then I got posted to Tangdhar, 299 Field on promotion as 2IC. From Tangdhar, I came back to 306 medium to command the unit. I moved the unit from Jhansi to Ferozpur. At Ferozpur, I left the unit in, I think it was 1999. No, it was 89. 89. Then I went to Tawant fighting. Then I did a short stint of what we call as study leave. Then I got posted to CMP unit in Nagrota. This Nagrota is near Jammu.
Yes.
From Jammu, right, I got posted to Bombay as OC MC area. I was dealing with the railway. That was a very good tenure of mine. You see, when I started, we had reservations in only 26 or 27 trains. By the time I finished or I left OCMC area, we had quota in roughly 60 trains, Western, Central and Konkan Railway. All that. Of course, I had a very good grid. One of my friends was also in the railways. So, well, we could manage. Okay? Then, from OCMC area, where did I go? Yeah, I went to Tawan. No, sorry. From OCMC area, I went to Limakom, 57. From Limakom, I came to Masimpur. Yeah, correct. Limakom, I came to Masimpur. That is via this 2000. 2000 में जो कारगिल वॉर था, 2000 में वॉर हो गया. उसके बाद my unit from Masimpur, from Limakom came to Meerut for a short stint. We moved then to Masimpur. At Masimpur, I retired. Then, immediately, within 15 days, I came to Leh. Leh to Pune. And Pune, I finally hung up my uniform. That's all. And then, I had a short stint in civil side. I was working in NISA and all that. And of course, all of you, your training, it all starts.
Sir, so coming towards end, from your life or all the experiences that you have, so to youngsters or to each and every audience, what would be your giveaway from your life, your personal experiences?
My personal experience, I would say, is remember one thing, your country first. Do everything. Whatever you want to do, keep your aim in mind and do everything to achieve that aim. Secondly, don't go against your country, because that is where your food is. Remember that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving your valuable time and giving so many wonderful stories and wonderful experiences. I believe I myself have lived them through a picture or a frame that I imagined in front of my eyes, and this is priceless. I can't imagine what you would have felt living a life like this. So we conclude over here. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. Have a nice day.